Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Risha's Tarot. Hello subscribers, hello new faces. So this is a pick a card reading on how do women feel about me. Yeah, so this can be romantic and it can be platonic. So this can literally be how your friends and family view you, co-workers, and it could also be how exes and partners view you. Also love interests as well, people that you know that want to speak to you that are women. So let's get into it. We have 3 piles. So pile number 1 is the amethyst, pile number 2 is the clear quartz, and pile number 3 is the green aventurine. Okay, I'm gonna go to pile number 1. So those that chose the amethyst, how do women view you? We have the 2 of swords, or the 2 of spades. So basically guys, sometimes my cards will look a bit worn out, but I don't really, these days I don't really throw my cards away. I want to keep them with me. So throughout the years, I think it's only been a year I've been on this channel, but you're going to see like throughout the years, I'm most probably going to keep certain decks and they may be a bit tattered, but I'm still going to keep it because I don't know, I'm very sentimental. Like if someone's given me something, it's kind of hard for me to kind of throw it away. I'll just keep it because of, you know, the memory. For example, these cards, I got them when I was doing readings with my co-workers, because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have any side story. I'm gonna get into it. It might be related to how women view you. So hold on one moment, let me just explain myself. So I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't bring any tarot cards. And as a reader, you're always supposed to bring like a tarot deck with you anyway, just in case someone wants a reading. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just use playing cards. And they're like, you can use playing cards. And I was like, yeah, it's just no major arcana will be in there, like the Empress or the Devil. So yeah, and the readings resonated. So I don't know, like memories like that, memories stay with me when it comes to the cards. Like I have certain cards that I got for doing something at uni. I got certain cards that I got from my best friend. I got certain cards I got from my uni friend. Like it's different cards because I like to keep the memories with me. So yeah, just thought I'd explain that. But intuitively, I guess how that would relate with you is I think women remember you. I think it's hard to kind of forget about you. They might remember, you know, the memories they've had with you quite a while, and then quite a lot, because, and this is amethyst, so I think in this situation, whenever, you know, a woman thinks about you or someone says, oh, so like, what happened between you and pile number 1? Do you remember pile number 1? Oh my gosh, yeah, I remember pile number 1. They used to do this and they used to do this. So I think you have a lot of people that remember you, and the memories are quite sentimental, I would say, because they remember it so clearly, because like the amethyst is about clairvoyance, like seeing things for what they are. Like it's very vivid. So there's like vivid memories of you, pile number 1, I'd say. But anyways, with the 2 of swords anyway, I think even though, so the women that know you, even though they remember the memories they've had with you, and they remember things you used to do, they never really knew you though. This is the thing, because the 2 of swords, I kind of see it as confusion. So so they might be like, you know what, I've known pile number 1 for a long time, but I don't actually know their favourite colour. Or I've known pile number 1 for a long time, but I don't really know their views on men. Or I've known pile number 1 for a time and I don't really know like what type of music they like. There's certain things that they don't know about you, but they've known you for a long time. So with you, you're always there's always something mysterious about you, and I guess that's an element of the amethyst as well. So like it's like they're really sitting back like, wow, I guess I didn't really know pile number 1 that well, because there's certain things that I don't know regarding them. Some of them, they might not actually know your business, but they have been friends with you for like 5 years. How can I know someone for 5 years and I don't know majority of their business? That don't make sense. So there's that as well. So you have this quality to you where you're very memorable, but the women can't really read you that well. So there's that, and that could be romantic or platonic, to be fair. They don't really know what your motives are, particularly when you speak to them. So you could be speaking to them, and the woman would be like, so why is pile number one speaking to me? Like, what do they want? What do they actually want? Because I feel like what they're asking me is not really the response that they want. For example, like if you ask someone, oh, like, I use an example. I mean, this is not my power, but I'm just, because I didn't really resonate with this stone. But just so you guys can understand, like, I think, like, if you ask someone, oh, like, what's your favourite colour? They might be like, why are they asking me my favourite colour? Whereas if another person asked the woman their favourite colour, they would say, oh, pink. But with you, it's like, why are you asking me that? Are you trying to analyse me? Yeah? Like, why are you asking me that? Like, are you trying to get me a gift? Is that why you're asking me my favourite colour? They don't know. So they think you have ulterior motives. Not in a bad way, but in a way of like, you're just not very straight up. And even when it seems like you're straight up, they're like, no, there has to be another reason as to why they're saying this or asking me this. So there's that. I refocus on number 2 here. I think when women spend time with you as well, they feel like you're not really there in the moment, like you're thinking about something else. So they feel like they don't really have your attention like that, like they would like, because you're too busy thinking about something completely different. Like, they would kind of know if they're sitting with you, and let's say they're talking about, maybe their family or something, you would respond because you was listening, but then another element of you might be like, I've really got a lot of errands to do tomorrow. I really need to get my car fixed. I need to clean it. Like that, they know that you're thinking about something else, like because your attention's not 100% there. So if you guys thought you were sly with it, you ain't sly with it. You not sly with it. They know. They can see, because they say naturally women are quite intuitive. So there's that. Women's intuition. Then we have the world. I feel like some of you are very well travelled. You've travelled a lot. So women feel like, pile number 1 likes to go different places. And I would say you're quite cultured. I think you know about different cultures, but I guess this is more about the geography of things as well. Like, some of you, it could literally just be like you're good at geography. Like, someone might be like, what is the capital of China again? And you would know straight away. You say, this is so embarrassing because I should really know that. But I forgot right now. Is it Beijing? I don't know, guys, don't laugh at me. But this wasn't even my power anyway. So my whole point is you would know. You would be like, oh, is this? Is that? So the geography is like really good. But if it's not that, then some of you, and I don't mean to take this offensively, that like I don't mean to cause offense, but some of you, like, women might find you quite exotic. And be careful, because some women might view you as like a fetish as well. So just letting you know. But that, like, maybe the ethnicity that you are is not really common in the area that you live, or it's not common, like the women that you attract, they're not from the same country as you or something. So when they see you, it's like they're very they're very intrigued, they're very interested. They're like, oh wow, interesting, that's platonically. But romantically, it could literally be like, I think it's the same thing, to be fair. Like, wow, I've never really dated someone of your ethnicity before. I've never really dated someone from the same country as you, so this should be interesting. So it's like a whole new experience that they're getting into, because as you know, different countries have different cultures and have different values and different beliefs. So they find it quite interesting. to experience with you, if that makes sense. So there's that. I think it's quite easy for you to kind of end connections, because I'm not really seeing any cups so far. So I think women can kind of tell, like, they can't really do the whole, oh, I'm never speaking to you again, don't ever speak to me again, and think that you're going to speak to them again, because I think you guys are going to be like, okay, all right then, see you. Like, you're not going to mend the connection, because I think you just understand the way, you know, how do I explain this? I think you kind of accept endings very well. I think women can see that. There's like, okay, well, part number one, I can't, if I really want to end the connection, I have to really want to end the connection, because they will take what I'm saying for face value. They will actually say, okay, cool, see you, whatever. We had a good time, I guess. There's a nonchalant behavior that you have that they're just like, oh wow, you're serious. Okay, so they know they can't play them type of games with you, because you'll say, okay, see you, no one, I don't really care. Like, it's really sad. So there's that. 21. Yeah, I think women like to get along with you. They might feel like they get along with you quite well. It's not hard to, but then I guess when it comes to building an emotional connection with them, they find it quite hard, because I think you're more of like a cold or logical type of person. So yeah, but it's not a bad thing. It's just that it's different personalities, to be fair. So yeah. Now we have the Hermit reversed. So there's a lot of green here so far, and blue and purple, which is interesting because you chose a purple stone. So in terms of color psychology, I feel like even though you're not very emotional, from what I'm picking up, you do have an emotional connection with women. Like, how is it that you're not an emotional person, but I can build an emotional connection with you? They don't understand it, but it works. It happens. And if they think you're quite good at communication, so that's good as well. But you would be if you're a logical person, so it makes sense. And I think you can just see things for what it is. And this is why you have this nonchalant behavior. I don't think, even if you have anxiety, it's not obvious that you have anxiety to these women. It's not obvious at all. They think you're just like, yeah, it is what it is. Maybe, and deep down, maybe you're stressing. I think maybe you guys, some of you do have like high anxiety, because like with the Two of Swords, it's given like mental conflict. Is like you're not sure which way to go, what choice to make. But I think that's something more internal. I don't think you make it obvious to women, so they don't know that about you, but it comes across like you just have, your stuff together, and you don't really stress like that. So there's that. Some of you like fluctuate with your availability. So there's times where you're very social, like it's like a burst of it, like you'll talk to a lot of people, but then there's a time where you need to be alone, and it's not very consistent. So women are kind of like, what? Like, you was just partying with us the other day, now you can't party with us, and you're. I mean, for some of you, it's a social battery. Like, your social battery goes down very quick. So when it's high, you're like, yeah, let's do this. And when it's getting to amber and red, you're like, no. I need to recharge. I need to go home. I can't do this. I need to retreat. But women don't really understand that. They're just kind of like, some of the women that I'm picking up, like in terms of how they're viewing you, they feel like you're either an extrovert or you're an introvert. So there's ambiverts as well, but they're not looking at that. So they're like, you're either someone that's very social, because there's people that are really social and they get energy from being social, right? And there's people that are introverted and they're alone and they prefer to be alone. And then when they're in an environment where There's a lot of people, it's too much for them. It's very draining. It gives them high anxiety, and they're like, no. So they understand those two different types of people, but they don't understand that there can be a situation where the person it depends on their social battery. It depends on when it's green, they can socialize, and then when it's red, they need to go home and recharge. So they don't understand that, unfortunately. But I feel like that's something that happens to you guys, part number one. The social battery drains after a while, and then you're missing. You vocalizing that might be another situation. Maybe you're not very clear about that, so they don't understand why that happens. But yeah, they're a bit confused about that. Okay. The Lovers reversed. So you put this up here. I feel like some of you aren't in relationships, and yeah, you're not in a relationship, and the women are kind of wondering why you're not in a relationship. So the ones that view you platonically, they're just kind of like, why are you not in a relationship yet? Like, you don't seem high maintenance. So in their perspective, it's like, well, you're not like really emotional where you're gonna annoy a guy or a girl. So I don't really understand what the problem is. As I said, they will feel like you're very cultured, you're very knowledgeable, and then you can be introverted and extroverted when you want. So they're like, so what's the problem? I don't really get it. So yeah, some of you, I'm picking your friends or family members that are women. They're kind of concerned. They're kind of like, so when are you actually going to get with someone? But that's for those of you that are single. Those of you that are in a relationship already, and the women are looking, objectively at it, like from the outside, they might feel like you're in a relationship that you shouldn't really be in. Like the person's just not good for you. Like they're not on the same level. I know that's kind of rude because this is your man or your girl that they're really talking about. But yeah, the gossip and the tea is like, you're just with someone that you shouldn't really be with. Like they feel like they're not worthy of you. Like that's how they feel. For those of you the way the women look at you romantically, they feel like they want to be with you, but it's hard because they're kind of like, you're not really there when I'm speaking to you, so how can I make an emotional connection with you? Like I feel like if women are looking at you romantically, they find it hard to make a connection emotionally, whereas if they're looking at you platonically, they can have an emotional connection. It's just like, it's kind of hard. But in this situation, if they're looking at you romantically, it's hard to make an emotional connection because you just don't allow any emotions to come into the connection. It's giving very friend, and they're like, I'm not trying to be your friend, I'm trying to be your lover, and you're not allowing it. So there's that. Some of you, if this is platonic as well, they think that you choose partners that aren't good for you. So even if you're not with someone now, they're kind of like, why, I don't know why you picked that type of partner in the first place and you knew it wasn't going to work out. Like that's kind of harsh, but they're like, yeah, where was you going with that person anyway? Like I don't understand why you even looked at them in the first place. So yeah, you got someone being a bit judgmental about your ex-partners, your current partner. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I think they want to, yeah, it's just this vibe of them wanting to have a strong soulmate connection with you, but you just won't allow it, be it romantic or platonic. Yeah, some of you, they feel like you kind of go out your way to cause disharmony in terms of, and not that you're argumentative, but that you're forcing this what's it called, this wall. And they're like, I've never done nothing to you, why is there a wall? Like, cool, I know the previous girl did something weird, or the previous guy did something weird to you, okay, cool, but I'm not that guy or that girl, so that's not really fair. So yeah, they feel like maybe you've gone through some sort of trauma romantically, or with a personal friendship, and they're just kind of like, but I haven't done that, so I don't really think that's fair, you know. But at the end of the day, people deal with trauma in their own way. I'm not gonna give you guys a hard time for that. You guys are obviously trying to heal from a past connection, whether it was a friendship or a romantic connection. And the women see that, but they're taking it like, that's rude though, because I haven't done anything to you. So yeah, it's kind of sad. Then we have the Power Ra, but it's reversed. So they don't feel like you try to exercise your power on them. And when I say that, like, you're not really controlling, you don't tell women what to do, you just do your own thing, like, you're quite relaxed. But what they do know is they can't control you. So it's a thing where you have no desire to control anyone, but no one can ever try to control you. You're not having it. So yeah, so they're kind of, that's interesting. Yeah, they really think about it. They're like, wow, so you don't want to control me, that's great, but then I can't really control you. And these are the girls that have like control issues. So like, they're just like, wow, that's interesting. So no matter how hard they try, you're just not having it. You're like, no one's controlling me. I don't even think you even say it. They just know, and you know, in terms of telepathy, don't ever try and control me, because it's not going to happen. I'm not having it. So yeah, like, they know they can't do that. And this includes friendships and romantic connections. They can't exercise any power over you. You're not having it. And they know this because it's easy for you to end connections. It's not a problem. If we got to do that, we got to do that, because I've got to do my thing and you can do your thing respectfully. So there's that. I think also, because this is like an eagle head, but I think you guys have your eye on a goal, and no one's going to stop you from accomplishing that goal. No woman's going to stop you from I don't think anyone, but because this reading is about women, like, no woman's going to stop you from accomplishing your goal. And they know this, no matter how long they've been in your life or how strong they try to make the connection. They know, like, if you got to go in order for me to get my goal, then you got to go. I'm not having it. So they're like, okay, cool, fair enough. I don't think they like it, but that's something they have to deal with if they want to be in your life. So yeah. I would say women love your physique. So if they look at you platonically, like, they feel like you have the ideal body, they're like, that's amazing. I'm trying to be like you, girl or boy. I'm trying to be like, well, okay, let's look at this. If this is where it gets a bit sticky, right? It's either I'm trying to get the same body as you because your body's nice, or I would love the same body as you, or like, that is the same body, that is the particular body that's ideal for your gender. Like, that's amazing, basically, if that makes sense. So yeah, they marry. If it's romantic, like, they find you very physically attractive, very, very. And it may not be necessary that you guys are muscly like Ra, but it could be like, in your culture, maybe if you're quite a big girl and or a big guy, and in your culture that's attractive, then yes, they love it. They're like, oh my gosh, I wish I was big like you, you know, like, because as much as, because, you know, like, I'd say in some cultures, like, having a bigger size, people kind of feel like that's not attractive. But I'm telling you, like, my family's from the Caribbean, and being bigger is attractive. Like, having bigger bum, bigger thighs, in women in particular, that's really attractive. So, like, if you are bigger and in your culture, like, that's attractive, they find that attractive. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's move on, because I'm rambling. Then we have Nautilus Princess. It says powerful personal growth. So the reason why you guys are quite nonchalant and people can get dropped whenever, and you're quite, you know, knowledgeable, is because you've done some personal growing, like, you've grown. And the women know this. So I really think this is highlighting the women that have known you for a while, rather than the women that don't really know you. It's basically saying they've seen you grow, like you've grown, you've evolved, and you've evolved into this peaceful person, basically, where you're like, I'm really not going to stress about my personal relationships with people, especially women, because it is what it is. I can't control the way the connection's going to go completely, maybe to some degree, but not completely. So I'm not, there's this just let it be type of vibe that you have, which shows that you've grown, basically. And some women respect it. They're like, okay, that's cool. But I think a majority of them are kind of like, maybe we're looking at women that haven't really evolved like that, or aren't that mature. But I don't think they really like it, because maybe it's easier to kind of control someone who hasn't evolved. Basically, someone that has control issues, and someone that's overly emotional and like their heart chakras unbalanced. It's easier to kind of control that type of person because they're not balanced, and they're not aware of what's happening. But because a lot of your chakras are balanced, I'm seeing, maybe your heart chakra could be a bit more loving, okay? But I'm guessing that's because certain things have happened. Because you're quite balanced in other areas because of this growth. Some women, they don't like that because they can't really control you. Sorry, I said what I said. With the 41 on the card, it makes 5, and I think 5 is about individuality. So like you have become, I don't want to say you've changed, but you've grown into this like new person. So how you was, I'd say, like 2 or 3 years ago, you're not like that now. So they're just kind of like, oh, okay, this is a new pile number 1. Yeah, it is a new pile number 1, because pile number 1 understands that whatever they was doing a couple years ago, that was not it. It was not it. It was not cute, and it was not it. So they've had to grow, and that's what you've done. So you haven't really done anything wrong. It's just obviously women that like to exercise their power, they're not gonna like this growth, basically. And women that aren't like trying to be controlling, they're trying to find a way to connect with you, because the traditional way to kind of connect with you, they can't really do it. So yeah, if you guys are wondering what the traditional way is, ask a woman, she'll tell you. But the traditional way does not work with you, so there's that. I think they see you as quite caring. So even though you're not that emotional, you do care. So it's not like you're heartless. So they understand that. So yeah, then we have number 29, but it's reversed. Where's the book? Oh my gosh, I didn't take the book out. One moment, guys. It's all the way at the bottom of my decks. Okay. $29. Wanting to be right. So when this is upright, it literally means you are not clearly seeing that either consciously or subconsciously you're wanting to be right more than you are wanting anything else. So this is someone that really needs to be right, but it's reversed, so it's the opposite. So literally, you don't really care about being right. And like I don't think it's really you. I think it's like, society, there's certain things that you do. So for example, if you're female, like society expects you to do this because that's right, and this because that's wrong, like whatever culture you're in. Like, you don't abide by what's right and what's wrong. You just do your own thing. So women are kind of shocked by that. For example, let's say in some cultures, like what you're kind of supposed to do is like study or work, then date, then get married, then have children. Just that kind of traditional route. But some of you haven't done that. You're like, why I gotta do that though? I don't have to do that. So some of you may have done this it differently. Maybe you've had a child and then you studied, or maybe you've got married like quite early and then you've worked on your you've worked on your career. So women kind of like, what are you doing? Because that's not really what you're supposed to do. And you're like, who cares what I'm supposed to do? I'm gonna do what I want to do, and whether that's right or wrong, like, it is what it is. Because that's not the way society says we have to do things is not exactly how we have to do things. Who says? So I think like some women view you as quite outrageous, if anything. Even if you're a guy, they're kind of like, what? You're not gonna do it that way? And you're like, no, why do I have to do it that way? Who says? So there's that. That's how I interpret the card anyway. And I think also when it comes to arguments, because we're talking about wanting to be right, you may have a argument, and the woman would respond with, yeah, but XYZ, and you're like, okay, if you think you're right, then fair enough. And they're like, what? Are you trying to be smart? Are you trying to take the mickey? No, like, if that's what you believe, then you are entitled to believe that. Who am I to make you think otherwise? And they're like, what? So yeah, like, you don't have a desire to be right. You're just like, I believe what I believe, you can believe what you want to believe, and it is what it is. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion and their own belief. Like, I'm not going to take that away from anyone. So there's like, that's a bit weird. I don't think that's weird. In an ideal world, that would be great if everyone thought like that, but they don't. So like, that's how women view you, basically. Power number 1. But if you'd like to read and like, subscribe to my channel. If you'd like a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. But now I'm going to go to power number 2. This is the clear quartz. I believe that's got to do with the crown chakra. So whichever gender you are, I think you are quite connected spiritually with yourself and with whichever deity you believe in. And I think that makes you see things clearly. You know, you're just like, well, I don't know. I'm getting that. It's interesting because you could kind of say something similar for power number 1, which was the amethyst. Like, that's seen clearly too. But that's seeing things clearly, I think, more in like the 3D, that, in my opinion, I'm not saying that's what it is, but that's my opinion. With this, it's like you guys are seeing things clearly on a spiritual level, like it's a bit deeper. So there's that. And I think you guys are quite healing as well. It's a healing aspect there because it deals with the crown chakra. So that's interesting. But let's get into it. We have the 9 of Wands reversed. So far I'm getting women are a bit suspicious of you. There's some suspicion. Let me explain myself. So we have the 9 of Wands reversed. That's giving you don't really have your guard up. You see no need to do that. Like, why am I doing that? So I feel like when a woman speaks to you, like, oh, so what's happening? You know, like, what's happened with you in the past regarding this? You'll say the whole of your business. Maybe not the whole of it, but like majority of it, because it's kind of like you're not scared to say what happened. You know, some people, they'd be a bit worried to tell someone like a lot of their business because they're scared the person's gonna go and tell someone else, and they don't really want the information getting out. They just feel like that's very invasive. Why am I telling you the whole of my business? It's not your business. But like, you guys are just like, it is what it is. Like, that's what happened. I don't feel ashamed about it. That's what happened. And I've grown from that. So even if you sit there and talk about it to other people, I've most probably already done that. And 2, like, okay, so what? And you can look at me any type of way, regardless of what I've said. But it's like, sorry, you can look at me a type of way, even though I've said all that. Well, I know me, so I don't really care. Like, you could switch on me tomorrow because of what I've said, but that's what it is. If you want to switch on me, you can switch on me. I don't care. Like, you guys are very open. And I think that makes women a bit, like, suspicious. They're like, wow, you're telling me the whole of your business. That's a bit weird. I only knew you today. That's a bit off. Or I only, like, met you a week ago and you're really saying all this. Aren't you worried, you know, that I'm going to look at you a certain way? And you're kind of like, no, I don't really care. You just really don't care about number two. You're like, it is what it is. I tell it straight, you know. You don't have this guarded energy, so I think you're quite welcoming. So women find you quite welcoming. They can just speak to you, and you'll just be honest. There's like this honest vibe. There's no hidden agenda. Just, it is what it is. That's what it is. If you don't like it, then yeah, that's not my business. I think also, like, with the 9 here, you're able to just, you can be by yourself. You don't, they feel like you don't really need anyone. Like, you don't actually really need anyone. And some women, they might feel like, that's a bit odd, you need someone. Like, you need like, I don't know, someone. And you're just kind of like, I don't really need anyone. If someone wants to be around me, then that's great. I will still speak to people because, like, as you can see, I'm kind of an open book. But, yeah, I wouldn't say I need anyone. So there's kind of like, wow, weird, you know. Or I think some women might admire it. But I'm getting a lot of them are just kind of confused as to how you can speak the whole of your business like that, or the majority of it anyway. Or maybe you don't even speak the whole of your business. I think there's something that you reveal that's quite deep. And they're like, that is something you say a year into the friendship. You do not say that in the first week, girl or boy. And you're like, I don't care. So, yeah. Then we have strength reverse. So, I feel like this way gets a bit, okay, hear what I'm saying. You guys have strength, but not in the stereotypical way, yeah? The strength you have is just, it's oh my gosh, how do I explain this? Okay, because I get it. Have you ever met someone, yeah, and they're so relaxed, they're not controlling, they're just chilling, and because they have that vibe, you guys are quite, it's not mind games, but you guys understand something. You know, if you sit there and act like this, the strength card of I run things, no one runs me, like, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you what to do. If you behave like that, like, no one's gonna wanna, like, speak to you. They're gonna run away from you because, wow, you're really controlling. So what you do is you're just kind of like, hey, let live. If they're like, I'm gonna go and do this and I'm gonna do it now, and obviously it has nothing to do with you personally, like, they're not affecting anything that you're supposed to be doing that day or anything like that, you're like, okay, cool, yeah, do your thing. And they're like, oh, and they're like, so you're not gonna stop me, or you're not gonna have an opinion? And you're like, no, it's not really my business to have an opinion. Do what you need to do. They're like, what? So then what happens is, what you've done is you've put their guard down, because you seem so relaxed about everything. And then they will start telling you the whole of their business, because you're not so opinionated, so they feel comfortable to tell you all of that. Or, like, because you're so relaxed, I think you turn into some sort of therapist, in terms of, like, they want to tell you everything. They want to ask your opinion on certain things because you're not aggressive, you're not controlling. But then there's a strength within that, because anything you say, they will take seriously. Like, they will believe it because they feel like you don't have a secret agenda. Like, they feel like, okay, so pile number 2 is naturally a relaxed person, so whatever they say, I know that is genuine. And it most probably is genuine. I'm not saying what you guys are going to advise them isn't genuine, but there's strength there because, like, you could manipulate the situation if you wanted to because of the psychology you just used, if that makes sense. Like, oh, you know, I don't really have any power over anything. Like, do what you want to do. So it makes people want to speak to you more. You find out more of their business. You find out everything. And anything you say now, it has so much strength to it. Like, it could basically alter the whole of their life if they listen to what you said. Do you get it? It's mad. It's crazy. So there's strength there, but you behave like I don't know what you're talking about. I'm chilling, I'm minding my own business, you know. So that's crazy. That's a very deadly. That's serious, guys. That's dangerous. Hey, wait. Let me get myself together because that one was a bit serious. And then we have 8 on the card, reversed. Right, I can't really get anything from that. Oh, I guess it's success. But I don't think it is negative. I feel like you're someone that's able to get what you want by behaving like you have no control over a situation. Does that make sense? Because I always see 8 as financial success, but it could just mean success in general. So because you have a very relaxed vibe, you basically get what you want because you have allowed the universe to give you. I don't know how to give it to you. I don't know. You haven't took it by force. You've said, this, whatever's for me is for me, and then the universe gives it to you, and then it's worked out. But in terms, and women can see this, you know, they're like, wow, maybe if I, and this is not every woman, but maybe if I wasn't really controlling and I did what pile number 2 does, then things will probably go my way. Things will probably work out for me. So some of them are actually observing that. They're understanding that. They get it. So they're like, okay, cool. And romantically speaking, I think they feel a bit vulnerable because they're like, I think you're the type of person where if women view you romantically, yeah, they spill the beans about what's happened to them. They feel really relaxed with you kind of quick. They might not feel that relaxed with people that quick, but with you it's very quick. And they feel like you kind of control the situation by acting like you don't control the situation. So they're just kind of like, how does someone do that? That's a bit magical, you know? So yeah, I don't know, they're a bit worried, I'd say. But you're not actually doing anything wrong. You're just being calm. But that's scary to them as well. So there's that. Then we have the we have the High Priestess reverse. So okay. I feel like you guys aren't the High Priestess. I think she's ruled by Cancer. So you don't have Cancerian qualities much. So in terms of the intuitiveness, like, because the High Priestess, she's basically the witch. So that I think you do have. Like, you can kind of tell something's about to happen and when it's not going to happen, or you have this magical effect. Like, I do agree with that, definitely. But for some of you, I feel like the maternal side of you, it might not be as strong. So there's that. But then some of you, oh yeah, I picked up some of you, yeah. Some of you, women do think you're basically a witch, so they might say that because some of you might actually do tarot, or some of you, like, you just have this magical quality to you, like this healing quality. You can kind of get people to do what you want if you really wanted, but you just don't. Some of you, you don't exercise that power. So there's that, like, so I think a very small portion of women find you quite manipulative by doing this. Oh, I'm calm free. I'm carefree, like, I'm cool, like, and they're just like, see, you're doing that so you can control people, but you think we don't know. Like, there's some, it's giving jealousy, it's giving jealous, like, sort your life out. It's giving jealous. Like, maybe if you calm down a bit, you could be like part number 2. But like, there's some of them that are kind of like, you're not manipulative at all. Basically, you have all this power, but you don't exercise it on anyone. And the power is magical. They're scared. I think women are scared of you. They're scared. That's okay. So the women that don't like you, they're scared of you. I'm gonna tell you that right now because of there's a magical quality to you, like the ones I just said previously, and the ones that do like you, like they're just amazed by this magical element to you, basically. But so far, I'm getting they're heavily scared right now. You guys are scary. But it's so ironic because you're not doing anything, like, you're not being a tyrant. You're not being aggressive to be scary, but it's a magical type of scary. If I was to compare you to someone who's scary and magical, I don't even know, where they don't exert their power. Because I get it, but because I'm not bad mind, like, I'm not scared of people like this. It's like, wow, you're amazing. That's the way I view it, right? But some people, they don't like that because I think it builds up some sort of there's some insecurity. It triggers some insecurity in them, so they don't like it. I don't know. Maybe someone will pop in my head later, but let's keep it moving. For action. Oh yeah, before I get into four, the two's reversed. So yeah, there's some girls that don't want to be your friend. They don't want to be with you. They're like, I don't want to be your friend because, like, there's too much. I don't know. They feel like you could control the situation, and you did it effortlessly. So they're scared. They want to avoid you, basically. Oh, okay. And then we have for action reversed. Oh, okay. Another thing. Some women kind of feel like you don't really get along with a lot of people because you have this this magical sense to you. Like, I have to say magical. That's the best way I can kind of put it. So, because you have this magical vibe, they could kind of tell, like, a lot of people aren't really gonna like you because you're different, you know, or you're very enlightened. So that's gonna cause some people to just be like, nah, I don't really want to deal with that, you know. So there's that. So they're either observing this or they personally don't want to mess with you. So, and I think it's because of fear. It's fear. But I'm gonna let you guys know something. Like, if people don't want to mess with you because, like, you're quite spiritual and all that, I think it's because they're low-key trying to do something weird. Because what are you scared about? Like, especially because you're so relaxed. If he was magical and then also, like, you was abusive, then yeah, they have every right to run away from you because what are you doing? But because it's very relaxed, it's like, why are you scared of them? Oh, because you can't manipulate them. That's why you're scared of them, you know? So when you see, like, women act like that, like, just know that they try to do something, they see they can't do it, and they don't want to mess with you now. So you don't even really want women like that around you anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, ugh. Anyways, we have full action reverse. And that could be romantically speaking as well. Like, there might be a woman that's trying to, like, control you, but she can't because you have this, like, spiritual protection around you. And you don't have to do much, and it's scary. And I think they know they're going to get some serious karma. Like, the women know they're going to get serious karma after they mess with you, basically. Like, it's serious. I feel like any woman that's messed with you, the karma they've received after, it's not nice. It's not nice. It's scary. And some have witnessed it, and some have gone through it personally. So they're just like, I don't know if I should be messing with pile number 2 like that. We have full action reverse. So again, you guys, there's no action towards the women like that. You're very relaxed. Is there action with anything else? Yes. I think you're very motivated when it comes to maybe your career or your I'm just getting career. Let me think. Because when we talk about family and friends, there's women there. You know what I mean? So it's just the women kind of feel like you're not very, like, clingy or obsessed with them. Like, there's not much action to do something. But okay, that's just how you are. Who says you have to be, you know, all up in their face and their grill? Then we have back off, voodoo and blue. So the fact that so to be fair, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I feel like some of these women think you do voodoo, and that's why they're scared. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to be around you. So there's some that are like, yeah, this girl does voodoo, she gonna do something horrible to me, because, or this guy does some, he's in the occult or something, like, I don't know. And I would just want to say, me personally, like, I don't have any weird feelings about anyone that does voodoo. That's your personal business. I have no judgment about that, whatever. I do it? No. But, like, I'm not judging anyone that does. I'm just saying the perception of women, like, this is what they think of you. They might think that you do it and they don't like that. And then and this is nothing. They think that you can control them because you do it. And some of you probably sitting there like, I don't do no voodoo. Why are they saying that? But that's what they think. That's really sad. Oh well. And if you do, they know, guys, you've been caught. They know you do it. Yes, they found out. So there's that. But they feel like if they did anything messed up to you, you would do something to them. And you know what's so funny? You know what's ironic about this, guys? I feel like a lot of you don't even do it, one. And I feel like a lot of you, like, you just chill. You don't, I bet you're just naturally spiritual. You just chill. You mind your own business. And then people that have messed with you, like, your spirit guides don't mess about. Like, they're like, yeah, you want to mess with pile number 2? I've got you. I've got something for you. Like, it's that. And then they get their karma. Like, that's what I think this is. I don't think you do anything, but they think you do something. So there's that. They just don't want to mess with you. They're like, they've been telling the other girlfriends, don't mess with pile number 2, yeah? Because when it gets long for you, yeah. Like, you got girls warning other girls about you. It's not a joke, yeah. It's not a joke. You got girls, not just girls, but warning other people about you, and about something majority of you probably don't even do. So yeah, sad girl, sad boy, sad. But I think with back off here. Okay, no, I got so. Okay, so basically, when they're telling people to back off, like, don't speak. Oh my gosh, guys, you got haters. It's so sad. Part number 2, you got haters. When they have people, yeah. So these girls, yeah, they're out here saying, "Oh, don't talk to part number 2. Don't talk to them because they do the witchcraft, yeah, all that, yeah." And the people they're saying this to, they're like, "I will talk to part number 2 if I want to." You're doing a lot. What are you, recruiting people to not like pile number 2? Like, that's really sad. So people aren't backing off, and that's why the cards reversed. They're like, I'm not going to stop talking to pile number 2 because you got qualms with pile number 2. Like, I'm not doing that. Okay? Like, whether you have a pile number 2, that's your business. It's got nothing to do with me. Don't be involving me. So they're pressed. Because it's like, oh, what did you do? Did you do voodoo on them too, where they can never stop being your friend? And you're really just sitting here like, I've not done anything to anyone. I've really been minding my own business. Like, I'm really chilling. And I personally, pile number 2, I think like a lot of people just get like bad karma when it comes to you, when they do something messed up to you, because you're not a bad person. I think you're a really lovely person. And then this is why it gets really long for people. It gets really bad for some people because they're trying so hard to do something bad mind, so now bad mind things will reach them. Is that whatever you put out will come back to you? Okay, that is one of the laws. I'm pretty sure. Is that the law of the universe? I guess so, or the law of something. So I don't understand what they thought, but yeah, we have 22. And it is reversed. 2 + 2 is 4. Yeah, like, people just they feel uneasy when they're around you. And it's like, you can't win pile number 2 because they feel uneasy and you're just being chill and they're scared. How can you come into a room and you're relaxed and you get along with everyone and you're calm, and then you got people feeling uneasy? You haven't done anything. What did you do? You've done nothing. I feel sorry for you guys. This ain't right. And you know what? Like, it sounds like I'm only speaking for a majority of you. Like, the women that are viewing you is kind of they're platonic. Like, a lot of these are like platonic views. But then if we're gonna speak about like romantically, they know if they like cheat on you or they do something messed up to you, they're probably gonna end up with like a new partner that's just horrible and is gonna treat them horrible, or they're gonna downgrade. Downgrading, that's what they do. They downgrade, and their life's just gonna turn horrible after. Like, that's what they feel in terms of partners. They know not to. They either find out too late that they shouldn't have messed with you, or they kind of find out throughout the connection, I cannot even mess with pile number 2 because I'm witnessing what happens to people when they mess with pile number 2. So there's that. I wasn't really trying to do a karma reading, but it's like pile number 2, like the women are just sensing the karma that people get with messing with you. Like, it's really sad. And then we have 2 reversed. Where's that book? 2 reversed. Self-concept. So it's reversed, but I'll speak about it upright. Your blind spot is your desire to see yourself and for other people to see you as a good person. The ego is the singular identity that you call by your name. It is a what? Amalgamation, okay, of all the things you identify with. The things you call I, me, or mine. Ego is self-concept. Yeah, so for it to be reversed, guys, you don't operate by ego. You don't. Okay, everyone has an ego, right? But you are aware of the ego. You're highly aware. You're like, It is not beneficial to operate by the ego because the ego is going to mess me up. It's going to mess me up. I'm not doing that. So the way you operate is whenever you do something, or you say something, or you behave a certain way, you think, now, is this my ego wanting some sort of validation? Or am I doing this because, like, it's the right thing to do? Like, okay, that's not a good comparison. Because, as I said, like, this is talking about the ego and, you know, wanting to be, like, a good person because of the ego. But you guys is like, you're a good person because, like, that's just how it is. That's just how you're not doing it for validation. You're doing it because you're just supposed to be a good person. That's just, it is what it is. So I feel like you guys are really good people, and you're not doing it, you know, through ego. You just are that way. And whenever you sense that you're doing something through your ego, you kind of think about it and you stop and you're like, nah, I'm not even going to do that because that's my ego talking. That's not good. I'm not doing it. So it's like, what I will say is you are a good person, but it's not because of ego. So I think like, I feel like some women know, they know, I think a lot of women know that you're just naturally a good person and you're not doing it to look good or because you want like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You're just naturally like that. And I think some women can't believe that. It's hard for them to believe that you're actually a nice person. Which is sad because that just reflects that in the world there are some not nice people in the world right now. But like when they see that, you're actually a genuinely nice person, that's a bit mad. Like you're not even being nice because you want something, you're just nice because you're nice. So yeah, and this is what I'm saying by... It's like some women want to persuade themselves that you're an unkind person that does like some like black magic or something for bad reasons. But really, you be minding your own business, just chilling, being a nice person, not trying to control people, just listening to people, helping people if they ask, like being an open book. Like how can you really like make out this person's not a nice person, really? Like, so I'm not lie, panel to you got a few haters about women. It's really sad, and I'm speaking platonically. And you know what, you got a few haters that, so for example, you got a few haters romantically as well. Like, you know, if you're This is if you're a guy or a girl as well. But sorry, I think because a majority of the people that watch my channel are women, so it seems like, sorry if it seems like I'm only talking to women, like I'm talking to all genders, right? But in terms of like romantically speaking, if you know that you're attracted to women romantically and vice versa, like they're kind of, there's an element of jealousy, really, because you're a nice person. How are you gonna be jealous of someone because they're a nice person? That's so embarrassing. But yeah, like, yeah. And they're just jealous because you don't have to do much to get abundance. It's really sad. But guys, be careful with jealous partners. That's not right. That's really sad. Jealous partners that are women. But yeah. Anyways, panel 2, you're just going for it. You're going for it. I wish you well, honestly, and keep being a good person, because this is just confirmation that you're a very nice person. But I'm gonna go to pile number 3 now. So if you'd like to read and like and subscribe to my channel, if you like a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. Okay, now I'm going to pile number 3. Okay, Green Aventurine, pile number 3. Green Aventurine. We have the 4 of Wands and the Jack of Pentacles, or the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So women feel like, with you, platonically speaking, this is my friend that I have, that I'm, okay, hold on. Let me start again. Platonically, and they know you, like, this is my friend, I like them, long term we're going to be friends for life, and that's just what it is. But it's really sad because this friend, meaning you, pile number 3, is very abundant, and I have nothing to give them. I have nothing to give them. They give me everything. They give me affection, they give me care, they give me love, they give me money sometimes. I have nothing to give them. What am I supposed to give them? So, yeah, they feel like they're not giving enough to you. But you give everything. You give the world to them. This is your friends and your family, guys, that are females. They're like, wow, like, it's amazing. I could never give up our number of 3 gives. Never. If it's romantically speaking, yes, you are the wife. You are the husband. But I cannot give you what you give me. And be careful, guys, because it's like, you're like a trophy wife or trophy husband, and then this is someone that wants to be with you, but they have nothing to give you, or so they feel. So be careful with that. Make sure if you do marry someone or whatever, make sure you're getting what you actually want from the connection, you know, what you actually deserve from the connection, because this person's giving me a bit of a red flag already, because they ain't really got much to give you. And this person obviously is a woman, because we're talking how women feel. So there's that, if we're speaking romantically. And then platonically, if they're not really your friend, they just feel like, you know, you have strong ties with your family. So like you're quite connected to them. And I think they want to be a part of that. So whether it's like a family friend, or they want to get closer to you because they're a relative, or they want to be involved in your family because they're like your partner. They just feel like they don't have anything to show your family to prove that they're like worthy of your love, or, you know, like it's kind of sad. But yeah, literally. And for some of you, it's like, I want to, a very small percentage though, I want to be with pile number 3. Yeah, I want to be with them long term. But, you know, they can be so childish. So childish. I just need them to grow up. I'm going to need them to grow up a bit. And the only reason they've been getting away with, you know, me even still speaking to them, even though they're childish, is because they're quite abundant. So, I don't know. That's giving gold digger, by the way, so be careful. But, yeah, like, it's like, you're kind of childish, but I do want to be with you. And the reason it's giving me gold diggers, because Green Aventurine is usually to do with, like, good finances. It's abundance in general, like, as I said, like, good family, good, just luck as well, and fertility. but it's like there's some aspect of you that's lacking, but they will still like be with you. So I don't know, just be careful. Just be careful, because that's a bit awkward. And we have King of Pentacles and the Six of Swords reversed. So King of Pentacles reversed, yeah. So it's two different stories, right? It's some of you, you're just lucky, like it's either you've been born into a family that has a lot of money, so you always have money even though you don't do nothing. There's that. Or you don't do as much. You're not very hardworking. There's that. Or some of you, like, you're hardworking, but you're not giving the vibe that you want to look after the woman. Basically, like, you're so focused on providing for yourself and maybe your family and everything. But when it comes to this woman, you won't wine or dine her or anything like that. Like, she just feels like, what are you doing? Or do I not matter? So there's that. So I don't know which box you can't get into, romantically speaking, but there's that. Platonically, like, I think it's a similar thing. You don't do much, but you get a lot. Yeah, they're a bit confused. They're like, who doesn't do much but gets a lot? That don't make no sense. That's just laziness. And you actually don't get penalised for being lazy. That's a bit weird. Anyway, I'm just speaking through them. I'm not saying that's weird. I'm just picking up their energy. Or as I said, it's the complete opposite. You work very hard, but you don't care about them. You don't spend time with them as much as they would like, because you're so focused on work. That's all you care about. Work. You don't care about them. So yeah, that's what it's giving. Am I judging you? No, because who gonna pay your bills then? Who gonna pay your, like, obviously, I mean, you could spend a bit more time with them, but if that's gonna stop you from getting your money, I ain't saying nothing. It ain't my business, because the bills come first. Sorry, I don't care. I'm gonna say that. That's a classic Taurus statement, but sorry, these bills need to be paid. No. Wow, it's another way. This was another way I can. Okay, some of you, they feel like you just don't have a really good connection with your father. I don't know if that's public knowledge, or like in your friend group, or the women in your life, they kind of know that your relationship with your dad is not that great. And some of them, they can just tell, like, from the way you behave towards them, they're like, especially if you're a guy, they can kind of tell that obviously your relationship wasn't great with your dad because you ain't no gentleman. Oh, I'm not trying to send for you guys, but that was rude. Maybe someone needed to hear that, but yeah, like, they feel like because your relationship with your father is so horrible, this is why you're horrible to me. I didn't really do nothing to you for you to be behaving like that, but you need to sort that out, because yeah, it's not right. So there's that. Like, some of you, they feel like, oh my gosh, okay, short story, this ain't for everyone, because I feel like majority of people watching this are women, but like, if you're a guy, they kind of feel like what you saw with your dad is either your dad was working really hard, it wasn't really giving your mum like money or care or emotions, and now you've picked up that same trait, and they're like, I don't like that, because I'm not your mum that's gonna put up with that. Well, maybe you are, because it's looking like they're gonna stay, but they're like, I don't deserve to be put through that just because you saw that growing up. That's not normal. So yeah, some women here is angry. They're angry. And then it's too much. This one, there's so much different scenarios. It's a bit mad. And then if you're a woman, it's just literally like you're not showing the women much attention because you're focused so much on work. And then there's another situation where some of you, the women, kind of feel like you married a bum. Oh, I can't be talking about people's husband like that, but it's giving up. Like, why would you, they're gossiping. Why would you marry or why would you get with someone who can't give anything to you? That's embarrassing. Like, that's how they feel. That's another story out there. Or some of them feel like that's what you do. You get with men that can't give you anything. Like, And they're like, why don't you just get with someone that's on the same level as you? Like, why are you doing that to yourself? And then for another percentage of you, there's some women that just think that you're kind of like lazy, but you still get what you want. Like you're a, what's the word? A sugar baby? Like, not to gold digger, like not to offend, but some of them might be saying that. Like, if you know low key, like you don't really work and then you're with someone that has loads of money, they're saying like, yeah, like that's some gold digger vibe going on. Am I judging? No, because whatever, he's still getting this money and the man's agreed. He said, okay, cool, whatever. So whatever, that's your business. But that might be the gossip for some of you. But I think generally, you just don't give women the attention they want, regardless of what gender you are and whatever the situation is. So yeah. Yeah, you're committing. This part's a bit negative. So, sorry guys, I guess you gotta hear the sad truth. They feel like you don't really, they can't really, whenever they speak to you, and I think it's like constructive criticism as well, they feel like you don't take it well. Like, I'm trying to tell you something and you're not really like listening. They feel like it goes in one ear and out the other, or you're like, I'm not really trying to hear this, leave me alone. And they're like, okay. And then they kind of see things that really work out the way you want sometimes, and they're kind of like, but I told you this, like I warned you this, but you wasn't listening to me. So yeah. And then for some of you, they feel like sometimes you just cause disharmony when you hear things you don't like to hear. There's that. They're like, all I said was this, and this. You're like, no, that's not true because this. And they're like, okay, well, I mean, I wasn't trying to offend you. I was just saying. So there's that as well. Anyways, it's kind of hard to have a conversation with you without there being an argument or there being a disagreement. That's how some women feel. Or if you're not an argumentative person, it's just like they want to talk to you. Maybe you're completely fine like with speaking to women, like it's okay, and then they want to take the conversation to another level and you don't allow it to. You're like, okay, well, I've got to go now. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, I think they're trying to get a bit more intimate, be it romantic or platonic. Like they want to talk about like certain things with you and you don't allow it to get deeper. So they're kind of, oh, that's kind of sad. I was really trying to speak to you on a deeper level, but it's like you don't have time for me type of thing. I was not really trying to tell off people today. You know, I was trying to keep it cute. Then we have the Hierophant. So, let's get it in the camera. Even if, like, there's some women that you don't really get along with because of like conflict, or like you get along with women fine, but then there's not a strong like attachment there through communication. You're still someone that they will speak to for life. So there's that, like there's a commitment there. They feel like, well, you know, even though pile number 3 doesn't really prioritize me, I will still commit to them. I will still speak with them. I will still see how they're doing. And yeah, I mean that's great. And this is probably why you're very lucky, because it's like you don't really have to put much effort with people, but they still want to talk to you. So okay. I feel like okay, wait, there's too many messages, one moment. Some of you may be very religious or very spiritual, one of the two, maybe both. They've observed that about you. They said, okay, cool. Some of you may take like let's say you're studying seriously, because the Hierophant is like higher knowledge, or your work very seriously, and that's what you're committed to, not really them. So if your work is not complete or your studying is not complete, you're not having a conversation with no woman. You're like, I ain't got time. Listen to me. The bag comes before you, or the studies come before you. Like, and they're just kind of like, oh, okay. Well, obviously, I don't want you to fail, but damn, like, I'm sure you can free up 1 hour of your day to speak to me on the phone, and you're just kind of like, I mean, if I want. But yeah, you guys, apparently you're just not giving enough attention to these women. That they're feeling some type of way. But, you know, because there's a lot of animals here, it's giving like a primal type of vibe, of like, I think you're very straightforward. So if they're kind of like, why are you not spending time with me? I've got things to do. Are you going to pay my bills? Oh, no, you're not. Okay, so like, then I got to do this. They're like, okay, damn, like, you don't have to act like that. Like, I don't know, like, there's just this straightforward vibe with you. It's just no nonsense. And they're just like, okay, I mean, I was just trying to spend some time. So, yeah. 5. I think right now you're just changing. But not in a bad way. I think, do you know what? I'm getting the impression that, before, I guess you probably was giving a lot of people attention and you was caring about them more than you probably cared about yourself, to be honest, and the way your own life was going. And then later on you just was like, I'm not doing this. How am I benefiting from this? Everyone's fine. Everyone's getting their emotional support from me. Everyone's getting their financial support from me. Like, so now I'm switching it up. I'm going to focus on me. And I think the women are kind of confused now. They're like, what? But you always was there to help me, and they're not realizing that you got to change to evolve. So like, you're just being painted as the bad guy right now just because you're trying to sort your life out, which is kind of sad. But yeah. And that's romantic or platonic, to be fair. Like, when it was romantic, he was always there for the partners. And now you're just like, I've got things to do. When I have time, I will talk to you. It's not nice, but that's what it's looking like. Platonic, yes, we was on the phone 24/7, girlfriend. I understand it, but hear what I'm saying. I need to focus on my work now. So there's that. We have healing from heartache. Yeah. Okay, I can read this 2 different ways. If these girls that are exes, they haven't healed from what's happened with you. Okay, so I'm getting one message that maybe you guys put in a lot of work previously in a connection and the girl wasn't giving what she was supposed to give. Yeah. This one has too much stories. I'm gonna put in brackets. Sorry guys, there were too many stories. I don't know which one resonates with you at this point. So maybe a lot of people picked 3. I'm not sure. But it's like, she wasn't giving what she was supposed to give, so you left, and they haven't healed from that. She hasn't healed from it. I think she's still thinking about you. I think she may even be trying to, you know, get back with you at this point, and because she hasn't gone over it, it's not done. And some of you could be actually quite personal, like you've healed from a heartache, like, because the stone is green also, and I think that's like, I could double check, but it's giving heart chakra vibes. So I feel like when you was always there for people, the heart chakra was it was unbalanced in terms of, it was operating too much, where like there was no self-love, and you was trying to get not self-love, but you're trying to get love by giving other people love, but you wasn't giving yourself love, so there was an issue. But now you're like, okay, I need to practice some self-love, so I'm going to focus on myself, focus on my career and all that. It's given focus on career, guys. I don't even see, or focus on, yeah, it's given career. I can't lie, I don't see anything else it's focusing on. I focus on my career and myself, and be committed to myself now. Stop being committed to other people before myself, and I think that's allowed you to kind of balance your heart chakra and heal from any heartache you've been through. I think some of you probably been through a situation where you've kind of had to grow up like tending to people, looking after people, and you never really got a chance to look after yourself. And I think you're unlearning that now, so there's that. I mean, that's a bit deep, but that's good. That means you guys are progressing, but obviously the women are looking at it negatively. There's nothing I can really do about that but tell you their perception on it. 3 and 6 is 9. Yeah, you're going to do this alone. Yeah, I'm going to do this alone, because the only way I'm going to practice self-love is by giving myself it. So I'm going to do this alone, and it's been working. It's been helping you guys. But also, the women that have left your life, they don't want to be alone. So they're going to try and come back and speak to you again. And that's romantically speaking. And I even think platonically, like friends, people that you're not friends with no more, that you prioritized a lot, they want to feel like that again. So they're going to try and speak to you again. I don't think you guys are entertaining it though. I think you guys are really on your stuff, like you're focused on and progressing. So that's good. Shape-shifting, reverse. Yeah, like you're not... I feel like you guys just used to shapeshift in terms of, when I say that, like you guys used to please other people and just do what they want to do and be how they say they want you to be, and you're not doing it no more. You're like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not shapeshifting for you guys. I'm not having it. And also there's snakes in this image, so I feel like you was welcoming on subconsciously, I don't know, like you didn't realize that a lot of the people you was associating with are snaky. Like they were deceitful and they were using you, and now you're like, nah, you're not using me still. You're not using me still. Like I'm tired of it now. And some of you probably you didn't even realize until you started giving yourself self-love. And then probably when you look back, you're like, oh my gosh, this woman was really using me. She was really using me. So now, like, no one can do that because you kind of realize the signs now when someone's trying to do something weird like that. So yeah, you don't people please anymore. Before there was a lot of people pleasing. Now you're like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And we have 7. 7. Meaning. You have assigned a meaning to this situation or an experience that is part of this situation that is not the actual meaning of the experience or situation. Okay. Right, meaning. I think you guys have found meaning in your life. That I think you guys were doing stuff for people, waiting hand and foot for them. And I don't think he knew why he was doing it, but he was just doing it. But I think you're starting to realize why you did it. I think he was looking for approval or validation or wanting some love from people because she wasn't really getting it. He wasn't really receiving it. And then once you started to give that to yourself, you started to realize, oh, like, that's why I went through what I went through, so that I can learn how to love myself, basically. And also, what I'm doing now, I'm finding meaning in my life. Like, I feel like whatever you're working on, like, is very deep. Whether you're studying, like, is deep, like you really relate to it, so this is why you're doing it. There's a passion there. Whatever you're working on in terms of projects or career is deep. Like, you didn't just do it on a whim. It's like, this is what I've always low-key wanted to do, so I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do well in it. So you found meaning in your life now, and the women see that you found meaning. And because the women see that you love yourself now, they want to come back. They're like, hey, how you? And I feel like you guys are like, nah, that's done now. That's dead. I don't want to talk to you. But you actually kind of was contributing to my downfall, and you think I want to talk to you again. No. In terms of, like, new people, I'm not really getting this vibe from... I'm not really seeing a lot of perceptions of women that, like, are new in your life. But I think the women that are new... they just see that you're hardworking and they don't understand why. They don't get it. So they think you don't care about them. But the ones in the past, they know that you've just changed your whole persona because you're like, what you was doing the complete opposite before to your detriment, I think. Is that the word? Like, it was detrimental to you. So you just stopped. And some of them are wanting you to go back to that, and they know that you're never going to do that again. Or... they see that you love yourself, and when you love yourself, you attract more people, so they will come back in your life. And I feel like you guys are like, no, you're not coming back. You're done. Your chapter's done. We closed that chapter. So yeah, that's really... I don't think that's sad. I think, that's what you get, because why are you taking Mickey out of pile number 3? I don't like that. But if you like to read and subscribe to my channel. If you like a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. Bye guys.